Hello, welcome back to Shit They Don't Tell You. I'm Nikki Limo.
Hello, welcome to the Shit What They Do Not Tell You About program. My name is Steve Green.
It's not our podcast name at all.
But it sure feels like it.
Program.
So today, what are we talking about, Nikki?
Okay, so I figured since the past couple episodes has been Steve droning on about things that he's passionate about, that maybe we should do an episode about something that I'm passionate about.
I'm ironically passionate about Steven Seagal.
Okay.
That was misunderstood.
That's very true.
Thank you.
If you're into crypto, like you really want to know in-depth stuff about it, Steve does a crypto corner. It's a live stream. He does 2 hours every week on our Patreon, patreon.com/sticky, STIKKI.
We have a good old time. Come on in and become a corner today.
There's a lot of other things that happen on the Patreon too. Like we do Discord and live streams and extra bonus episodes of Shit They Don't Tell You called Shit They Don't Tell You After Dark. There's a whole party over there. So check it out.
Shout out to all the party people and shout out to all of the Patreons, man. You guys have been incredible.
Yeah. Okay. So enough about Steve once again, trying to take over my passion episode. And when it comes to a Nikki passion, it's probably going to be about one of two things. It's either going to be about Eminem or it's going to be about poker. And well,
hold on.
Yeah.
This is a recent thing.
True. Okay, so it'll be about one of my current obsessed hobbies.
That's exactly it.
Or it'll be about Eminem.
She diverts from hobbies so often.
Yes.
You'd think she goes through men like that. But she's loyal as hell to one man.
So he thinks.
And I'm convinced. However, I don't know why you're doing that. Are you okay? Is your eye okay?
I just had a twitch.
Oh, you have something eyelash?
Yeah.
But for some reason, she cannot pick one hobby. She has to go to all hobbies.
Well, yeah, I think I'm more addicted to learning new things than I am the actual thing. And whatever it is, I'll get obsessed with it. But I will say that poker is a little bit different. This one actually feels exactly how stand-up comedy felt for me in the beginning, where I wake up thinking about it, I go to bed thinking about it, I study it nonstop, I'm ever consumed with it, with poker vlogs and articles and all kinds of stuff, which is exactly how it was for stand-up comedy in the beginning. So there are a few things that really stick, and this might be one of them, too early to tell, but it's not the same for me as candle making or bullet journaling or things that I like. I like to do them, but I don't think about them all the time.
By the way, none of that was true. Last night she was watching Survivor. Oh, I'm sorry. I was watching Survivor and she was looking at poker while pretending to watch Survivor.
You weren't supposed to know that.
Oh, I know that.
Well,
anyway. Addict. So
let me just fill you in on some background because I think I really like this idea for a podcast episode of Shit They Don't Tell You because I've noticed through playing poker that there's a lot of aspects of life that show up in the game. So weaknesses you have in life also show up in the game and vice versa. Strengths that you have in life show up in the game. Things that you may be overcompensating for, and I wanted to run it down. But before we get into that, I just wanted to...
Can't get boners shows up in the game.
Can't get boner, yeah. If you're
overcompensating and you can't get boners.
If you're flaccid in life, you might be a flaccid game player, or you might try to overcompensate for your flaccidity.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But some people, if you've been following the vlog channel, you've maybe seen the journey of me slowly doing more and more and more and more poker. I used to play a long time ago when I was 21, but in the pandemic, I started playing a lot more. And in recent months, I've gotten kind of serious about it. But people have been
in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Like you're at the Commerce like 2-3 times a week.
I'm about to say that people are trying to say that I'm addicted to gambling, which I understand. I understand that, but I couldn't be farther from the truth. Like to me, gambling is craps. Like if I wanted to gamble, I would play craps, and I do love craps. Craps is really fun. Do I wake up thinking about craps? No. I don't wake up thinking about craps.
Who does?
It's not really the thrill of winning money for me with poker. It's the improvement of the game. And the more I learned about poker and learned how complex it is and the strategies involved, and it's unparalleled. I mean, chess is the only thing I could kind of compare it to, but even then, AIs have learned how to beat every human in chess, but they haven't learned to beat every human.
Is that true?
No limit hold'em.
That's so interesting.
Because there's so much variance and because human emotion plays a part in it, they cannot beat humans.
You're talking about Deep Blue, which was the IBM program that beat Garry Kasparov, I believe.
Yeah.
In chess. It took years for them to do that. I remember in the late 90s, they actually were able to beat him finally. Mm-hmm. And so there's nothing that exists like for AI that has beaten.
They can beat limit hold'em, which is without the all-in option. You know, you're very limited on how much you can bet each time, but they cannot beat every human.
I'm impressed.
At no
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's exciting
I have to say too, in your defense, because it is funny to make fun of all this stuff.
Yeah.
And to pretend like you're a gambling addict, but you're actually like, I mean, we'll play just with our friends. Like you had like the Big Moo girls over.
Yeah, and I'll play casually.
But you play like you care the same way. Like you'll play casually. We're playing a casual game for no money at all.
Yeah.
But you play the same way where you're trying to learn and you're trying to like show the game and teach the game.
Well, because games aren't fun if you're not playing seriously. That's my thing, is that like if you're just like, it's just a game, but you approach it that way. I know it's just a game. Like if I lost at, like I don't. People think I get really sad if I lose. I don't really get sad if I lose. I get more sad if people aren't interested in playing the game. Like,
well, I was telling your father recently about how you've been ripping people's throats out at poker, and how I've watched that happen up and close and personal. And he told me something that I think is very beautiful. He said, "Well, Nikki plays to win."
Yeah, and I think everyone should.
Right, and not everyone does. Not everyone does. So I think that's sometimes the difference for you with things, because you play to win. You really do.
Yeah, and so when money was involved, I feel like there's more at stake for people to play to win.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Whereas like if you're playing a board game, I get how some people can be like, well, I don't really care. And they're just playing because like they feel pressured by their family to play or whatever. But in poker, if you're going to choose to sit down at a table, like you're putting money that you earned into a pot for strangers to take if you don't try to win it.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I do really enjoy that aspect of poker. And it's not really, I'll get more into this, but it's not about how much you're winning, although that is a metric some people can use, because obviously in the long run, you're trying to keep it profitable. You don't want to lose money doing this, but it's more about how you played. Like you're going to have, due to variance, you're going to have like cold runs where like you're just running cold and you're losing not because you played bad, but because of variance. And then if you just stick to your system, you can profit in the long run. But like I said, it's just an incredibly complex technical and strategic game. And until poker, I had not really found any life application for my almost exactly 50-50 left brain, right brain. Like every quiz I've ever taken on, are you left brain or right brain? It's always like 50-50. Left brain being technical, right brain being creative. Like I'm really good at math, and then I also love art, but I wouldn't say I'm a math whiz, and then I wouldn't say I'm like some crazy creative genius either. I'm always just like competent. Like I'm very competent at both, but I'm not like, wow, what a killer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you can pick it up quick, though. I have to say, you pick up things very quickly.
Yeah, and so that's why forever I've said, I'm a jack of all trades, but master of none, which sometimes, people are like, oh, it's better actually. But I don't know. I've always kind of been bummed that I've always wanted to just like master something, but I'm always just like good at things.
Yeah.
And it's just because I feel like my brain doesn't go extremely one way or the other. It's very in the middle and balanced, which is great in poker. Because, okay, so for example, my Myers-Briggs personality is, we've done those tests on here before,
INFJ.
But it's INFJ, but it's always like kind of 50-50 on the introvert extrovert part and kind of 50-50 on the thinking feeling part. I lean more towards introvert and a little bit more towards feeling, but it's always like right in the middle. And poker is a balance of intellect and intuition, where I would even say that intuitive players kind of have an edge because you can teach the technical part, you can teach math, but you can't learn intuition. You can't teach intuition. So, intuitives, I think, have a little bit of an edge, but a lot of intuitives, if you're like heavily on that side, they won't put the work in to learn the math. So you still get an edge if you're a math person too. Anyway, so that being said, there are things that I've learned in poker that I think can also be applied to life. And disclaimer, I'm not an expert at either of them, but I enjoy studying and getting better at both. So here we go. Okay. Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
And I've put in quite a few hours at the table. So, number one, in poker and in life, you should always be striving to make EV plus decisions.
Oh, excuse me?
Do you know what EV plus decisions are, Steve?
No, I do not.
Okay, well, let me break it down. So the basic concept of EV stands for expected value. If you continually make positive EV decisions, you will profit in the long run throughout all the natural variance of the game, throughout luck, throughout strategy, throughout all of it. If you're continuously and consistently making EV plus decisions that are broken down through math and the technical part of it, then you will profit in the long run. If you continuously make negative EV decisions, expected value decisions, you will lose in the long run because of variance and luck and strategy. And so poker is basically just consistently making good decisions and getting rewarded for it. Yes, you can make some good decisions and still lose because of variance. Just like in life, you can continuously make good decisions and sometimes lose because of variance. But if you shake it off and you just continue to make good decisions despite that, it's almost statistically certain that you'll be rewarded in the long run. And I feel like that's the way it is in life too. If you don't let your emotions get to you just because of a loss and you just continue to make good decisions, in the long run, I like to think that you'll still be rewarded. Likewise in poker, you can make bad decisions and get rewarded for it in the short run. But over time, if you continuously make bad decisions, you will almost certainly pay for it. So I feel like that's just like in life. There will always be variance and people that you see get ahead when they shouldn't, but it might not be sustainable for them in the long run because they just got lucky. And it's also what makes the game fun. It can be hard to see people make the wrong choice and still beat you, but it's also why a lot of amateurs will keep playing, and they had a hot streak and they thought it was skill, but then eventually they keep making mistakes, often to your benefit if you stick around. And so I think with both poker and life, you should strive to be making EV plus decisions.
How can I make an EV plus decision? Just like what's a real world example?
Like doing the right thing. It's just a analogy for doing the right thing. Like continuously you doing the right thing despite if you're getting rewarded for it or not. And it can be really hard. Like you and I know we've many times done so many of the right things, but it just doesn't get rewarded. Then you see a person do the wrong thing and then they get rewarded for it. And it's really frustrating. And that happens in poker too. But I like to believe that if you continuously do the right thing in life, that it'll all collect and you'll be rewarded for it.
Okay.
And not that you're doing it for the reward, but like you're doing it because that's the right thing to do, Yeah. And so I think that you just eventually do get a better life from it, and you do get a better poker long run from it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So that leads me to my next thing is knowing your value and setting your price. So when you have a good hand in poker, you should get paid for it. But a lot of times people don't know how much they should be asking for. And either they ask too little for it or they ask way too much and it scares everybody away. And you want to get paid decently without scaring people away. So this goes the same for life. I feel like when you're an independent contractor, you need to know what your value is and you need to set your price accordingly. Or if you're an employee, you need to know when to ask for a raise. So you're going to be asking for a raise on the flop in poker when you have a value hand. And then also, if you don't have a value hand, sometimes you can get away with hyping yourself up enough to get people to believe your hype. And that's known as bluffing.
Huh, okay.
Yeah. And so there are people who make a decent living in this industry from bluffing, both in life and in poker.
That's true.
Okay. The next one is, it's not about the cards you're dealt. It's how you play them. You've heard that before. That's like a cliche thing. But I don't just mean the cards in your hand. I think it's about the whole picture. Like playing everything you got, even your perceived weaknesses. So for example, in poker, being a female, most women are risk averse. It's just statistically most women are risk averse. So I feel like when I sit down on the table, at least in my experience, it's kind of assumed that I'm going to play pretty tight, like pretty risk averse.
Interesting.
So it's a weakness because regulars will try to bluff you off the pot with weaker hands. Like they'll be holding something weaker, but they'll just assume you'll fold if they raise you because a lot of women are risk averse.
Is that why they just dump all in sometimes on you? Like I've seen that.
Yeah. I mean, it could, all in is that's pretty extreme, but like even making a substantial re-raise to a raise that I made off a good hand, they'll assume even if they have a weaker hand, if they re-raise enough that I won't want to risk it.
Right.
because that's how tight players play. But yeah, women I think are assumed to be a little bit more tight.
I mean, games like Mafia kind of is what it sounds like.
The poker is a lot like Mafia, for sure. Yeah. But I think that a strength is knowing this is how that you're perceived and then using it to your advantage. So I will play tight until that table image is confirmed in their minds, and then I will start to re-raise with bluffs in my perceived range, and I'll bluff and bluff and bluff, and they won't think I'm bluffing because they think I'm playing really tight.
Hope they don't see this video.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it will change depending on who I'm playing against. Usually, if they're keen enough, they stop trying to bluff me off the pot, and they change their strategy, and then I go back to playing.
What do you do if you're getting bad cards?
If I'm getting
been there for 2.5 hours.
I mean, that's a hard question to answer because you have to define what bad cards are.
Well, so like, okay, for example, you just said that you like to make people realize that you're not bluffing. What if you don't have shit though? How can you do that? How can you set that move?
I won't bluff if I absolutely have garbage. I don't go extreme on bluffing, but for me to enter the pot in the first place, I didn't have a garbage hand. You know, I'm not going to play some junk hand pre-flop. So if I'm entering the hand, it means I thought before the flop I had a pretty decent hand. And then once we go into it, based off my perceived range, based off of my table position, if I didn't hit my hand, I can still pretend I hit my hand.
Okay.
So like, let's say I have a Jack 10 suited and it's not my suit that comes on the flop at all, some other suit, but there's a lot of that suit or whatever. Or if it's, you know, almost a straight, but it's not quite a straight. My odds of hitting a straight, if it's not quite a straight, if it's an open-ended straight, are pretty decent. So I'm going to semi-bluff. Like, I don't have the hand. I didn't hit it on the flop, but I'm going to bluff as if I already had the hand.
I love it.
Yeah. And so that's when it's like it's not an all the way bluff, but I'm representing something, a very specific hand, and I'm letting you know that that's what I'm representing, and you can choose whether or not you're going to believe it.
Got it.
And if I have already established a pretty tight table image, they are going to believe it. They're going to think
you branded yourself a certain way at the table.
Yeah.
And now they expect something.
So they're like already like, oh, lady, she probably plays tight. Yes. And then like, oh, look, it's confirmed. Like she only bets big when it's an AK or a pocket pair or something in her hand.
I have to say, when I was in Vegas watching you, because I watched Nikki for like, I don't know, 6 hours in Vegas. Because I don't like to play anything if I don't know how the ins and outs of it and how that works.
Yeah.
So I was studying it, watching you play. And when you would go all in on something, it's almost like there was like sneers and like, oh, I'm about to get this chick.
Yeah.
And every time you ripped their throat out, they couldn't believe that you had.
And then they got too scared to call me on things.
And I'm telling you, folks, people who were talking like they're your best friend, like 15 minutes prior to that, are all of a sudden, they're all chummy and all this shit, and they're talking like fun and stuff. They're all of a sudden leaving the table or being like, can I get another table, please? Like, it was crazy to see the night and day difference.
The ones that were super cocky going into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we saw this young kid sit there. He's like 20 something. And he all-ined against you and got wrecked.
I feel bad because I trapped him.
How'd you trap him?
Well, I pretended like I didn't have anything.
Right.
And then I made a raise at the very end that was like an overbet to make it look like I was bluffing. So then he overbet. And then
I didn't have to.
He had a full house and I had quads and I beat him. But
king quads.
Yeah, but that's another strategy is like, so I had been winning a lot of hands already during that. So that was my perceived table image is like either how is she winning all these hands, like having so many good hands, or she must be bluffing. So then I played it like that one was a bluff. Because like to get quads is not common. So I played it like a bluff. And he knew he had a full house. So if I was bluffing, he was going to win. And then I bet like way more than you would if you were trying to play a value hand. So he thought I was bluffing. And I feel bad, but because he was a nice kid. But yeah.
Oh, please, he's trying to kill you too. Give me a break.
And that's the thing too. Like you can't feel too bad because
come on.
People are trying to out there steal your money. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that's what I'm saying is like play your whole hand. Like you have more than just the cards in your hand. You have your table image. You have the stack to pot ratio that you have. Like, are you short stacked? Are you deep stacked? There's so many aspects to the game that's not just the cards in your hand that you can be playing with. That's all kind of psychological.
Can I ask real quick? Have you ever had a royal straight flush or seen one, which is the best hand in poker?
No.
Okay.
I've never seen a royal flush.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only known a couple people who have, like, in real life. I've heard people that had them. But
it's like the Great White Buffalo.
The guy that I was playing yesterday said that he got a royal flush one time in his life, and he got so lucky because the guy was betting into him, thinking because he had pairs. He had a pair of aces, so the guy thought he had the winning hand for sure, and he kept betting into this person and like the guy that I was sitting next to, and he was like, yeah, I had flopped a royal flush. So like the whole time I was just in shock. I knew I won, so I just kept calling him. I didn't even try to raise or anything. I was just like, oh my God, I can't even believe this is happening. I just wanted people to see it at the end.
Dude, the craziest feeling, I know how that feels a little bit, I mean, in my own way.
Yeah.
Because I was sitting behind you when you would pull your cards up a little bit, and so I could see.
Yeah.
When I saw you had pocket kings, which means under the gun she had two kings, like given to her, right?
Well, under the gun is a table position, but
I mean under your, what do you call it?
In the hole.
In the hole, thank you. In the hole, you had two kings.
Yeah.
Like you picked them up, and I was like, that's pretty cool. This is gonna be fun. And then when I saw that the flop had two kings, I was like, holy shit, God.
Yeah.
And it's hard to sit behind you and pretend like everything's chill when I'm like, oh my God, she's about to fucking school everybody. You know what I mean?
That's when I slow play. That's when I slow play.
Yeah.
So that when you get something like that, that's when you do what's called value bets, like where you're trying not to scare people off the pot. You're trying to make it look like you don't have anything, but maybe you could have something. So you're just gonna do a small bet to see if anyone will stay in the pot, and maybe if they have something, like maybe you'll fold. But yeah, so then you test the waters, and like you don't want to bet too big because if no one has anything, they're gonna fold.
Right.
Yeah. So I think I would probably check that to see if anyone wanted to bet like they have something. And then I would just call and then see where it goes. And then towards the end, like.
It was fun, dude. Because I would do a thing sometimes where you would pull your cards up and I would not look. And just to see how you played it. And then when I saw you flip your cards over, I would be just as surprised as everybody else. And then I would see how you play when I know what cards you have. It was just super fascinating.
That's fun.
Yeah.
I would love to see it from your perspective. So attributing this to life, I feel like you can win by playing all of your cards, not just the hands you were dealt, like if you were born into a rich family or a poor family, or if you're uneducated or your income level is different. Sometimes people will doubt you because of maybe your education level or income level, but just let them judge that. And then a lot of times in life, I see this, and I see especially really intelligent women, because sexism is really frustrating. I'll see them trying to like prove that they're smart, but honestly, it just kind of makes you look insecure. And then I feel like personally, letting other people think that they're the smartest people in the room has served me well, both in life and in poker.
That's very, very true.
Like people will spill a lot of leaks or reveal a lot of their motivation or agenda or strategy in poker.
Because they think you don't understand.
And they'll make a lot of mistakes when they think that they're smarter than you.
The best thing is I've seen guys try to teach you poker while you're at the table. And I'm like, whoa, this chick knows more about poker, like asleep. Trust me, she's dreaming about it.
But then I just play dumber. I go, oh my God, thank you. That's so crazy. Oh my God, great. That's there. Wow.
It's so funny.
But yeah, so then they'll make a lot of mistakes because they think they're smarter than you. And then you can actually use those later to outsmart them, and they'll be so confused that they won't even know what hit them.
Love it.
Because they will have thought that they were ahead of you the entire time. So it's fun. Actually, I have an example of this. So in Vegas, when we first sat down at the table, I did this stupid bimbo move. I wasn't even trying to like act dumb or anything, but I play the 3-5 blinds here in Los Angeles. But when I went to Vegas, that table was really full. So I went to the lower stakes table, which was it was 1-3, I believe. Yeah, 1-3 blinds. And so when I sat down,
just real quick, 1-3 is like you're paying
$1 is the small blinds, $3 is the big blinds. You basically $3 is the minimum you have to be able to bet to play the hand. Okay. And so I base how much I bet on my hands based on the big blind number. So it'll be like 2 or 3 big blinds to bet on the pre-flop as the first raise. Okay. But
so if it's 3, you go like 9.
Yeah. But at home, 5, I play the $5 big blinds. So I already know off the top of my head that I'm going to put down 15 or 20 or whatever it is. But yeah, since it was 3, I had a brain fart. And so the first hand I played, I was like, wait, what's 2 big blinds? And that's exactly the delivery I set it into, because I was trying to figure things out in my head while I was saying it.
Yeah.
And the dealer was like $6 because it's $3 big blinds. I was like, oh, right. Okay, thank you. And then I put down $6. And the whole table was like, is it your first time playing? I'm like, no, I swear I play. But it made me look, more ditzy.
Well, the guy across from you he bought it for a second.
Yeah, for a second.
Yeah.
And then I ended up, the guy at the other side 3-bet me a big number. He like 3 times my bet. And then I 4-bet him because I had kings. And he went all in, and so I went all in, and I ended up winning that hand. And then everyone was like, I think you've played poker before. Yeah. But it was fun because that was the running joke throughout the whole game, was like, I kept saying dumb comments, but not meaning to. And then it ended up working to my advantage because people were just thinking that they could bluff me out the pot or keep betting, or that I didn't have anything. And it was fun.
It was really fun.
Yeah. We should take a break.
Yeah.
But when we come back, I have a few more things to share that I think that I've learned in poker that helped me in life, and I want to share them with you.
And I'm going to ask Nikki, very importantly, is poker moral? When we return on Shit They Don't Tell You Network, on the Shit That They Do Not Tell You About program.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for listening to our podcast. We just want to take a break to tell you thanks for listening to our podcast, and if you want to rate it, that would be really awesome for us.
Listen, we're on break. We're not talking to you like podcast hosts right now. We're just talking to you like people.
As a friend.
And we just want to say, please rate the show because it helps out huge amounts.
Like, we're not desperate. We're like kind of desperate.
We're giving shout outs right now to all the people who are giving it ratings. So huge shout out right now to Brian Jorgensen. That was sick of you, dude. Thank you. God bless. Huge shout out right now to Mark W. in Springfield, Connecticut.
Back to our podcast.
Jenny Blythe.
Hey, back to our podcast.
In Tuscany,
and
Florida.
Back to our podcast.
God bless you. Thank you.
Steven.
Thank you for supporting the show.
What are those, Steve?
This is the sound of a poker room. Tell me I'm wrong.
That's very true.
Except it's like bouncing all over the walls.
Yeah. There's like so many people
and when
at the
you
same
realize
time doing that.
What's actually going on, it's super interesting because it's just a bunch of people who are nervously fidgeting with them. It's not actually action, people moving chips across the table. Very rarely is that happening.
People sitting in their spot
and
playing
just
with their
fidgeting
chips.
with their chips. And some people do tricks. It's super weird.
It's very weird. I don't do that.
But as an observer of the sport, I find it interesting.
Yeah, I do see that it happens to people. It looks like an intimidating thing, like they're thinking about something super hard.
Yes.
But it really is just nerves.
Like some cats are doing tricks. You can't see me, but they're like moving the poker across you can see me if you're on YouTube, but they're like moving it across their hand and shit, but then they suck at poker. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
They spend more time on their poker tricks. Instead of their poker game.
Yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah, it's super weird.
It's silly. Well, actually, that brings me to my next point, which is to be self-aware and adaptable. So knowing your weaknesses is going to be huge for you in poker because people are always trying to exploit them. So if you don't know your weaknesses, you're just going to continue to get exploited and you're going to lose all your money. And same goes in life. I feel like strong people or people that are like kind of like more alpha will notice your weaknesses right away and they'll exploit them and try to bully you.
Facts.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they do. So you have to be able to identify your weaknesses and also be adaptable enough to stand up for yourself and to change your gameplay when you notice that happening. Anyway, choosing your battles and knowing when to walk away. I feel like this is something that Steve could learn from poker.
True.
Like some hands are just not worth fighting for. Like some
subtext.
Yeah.
I'm a hothead.
I didn't say it.
That's what she was getting at right now.
You're also hot.
I'm a bit of a hothead. I'm also a very attractive
You're a
man.
hottie.
But I am a hothead big time. If somebody... Okay, I'll never forget this.
Okay.
We're walking out of a party a couple years ago. It's like 10:30 at night. We're like downtown. And I remember you were uncomfortable because these guys were like drunkenly like yelling shit.
Yeah.
And I told them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like it.
I yelled over at them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because we were in some dark street in the middle of downtown. Like they're a group of guys.
2 guys.
Okay, there's 2 guys, but you don't know what they're like. You don't know how crazy they are.
They don't do shit. But,
well, I don't care. Then you got lucky.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
It's not worth it.
Sometimes I just get this thing. I get this little like, it's like my eyes twitch a little bit and I just fucking start launching.
Yeah.
And so, I'm not proud of it. I bring it up because it's something I'm working on.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so if you were to do that, I feel like that would be one of your weaknesses in poker too, is that if you see someone and they've been bluffing a lot of pots and they've been winning them, like you get this like injustice tilt where, and which I'll talk about tilt a little bit later too, but where you want to punish them. So tilt is just basically emotions, like when you're letting your emotions play the game instead of logic and strategy. And that happens a lot because people will piss you off. And sometimes you'll want to punish them for it, but you're not doing it on the right hands. You're just like, because you don't want to wait to punish them. You want to punish them now. You know that they're bluffing. They don't have shit. So then you start making all these crazy bluffing moves, even if you don't have shit, just to like teach them. But then they call you on it and they end up having it. And then you lose all your money and then you get even more mad.
So good.
And so, yeah, that's just stuff that could happen. And I
that
feel
would
like
absolutely happen to me.
That happens in life.
That's a flaw that I have that would definitely be exploited.
If someone's trying to like, if someone's continuously dominating you, either bluffing you off a pot or they're actually like they keep winning.
If they're pissing me off and they keep on beating me, I'm going to go to great lengths to destroy them. Yeah. And that will destroy me.
Yes, exactly.
It's like, I'm like Ahab to the Moby Dick for all you literary references out there. All the literary people out there. Thank you. All the literary refugees out there.
Yeah, Steve. So I think you need to know when to hold them and when to fold them.
Know when to walk away.
There you go.
Know when to run.
Keep going.
You got to count your money when you're sitting at the table. There be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. We just got a DMCA and our channel's being removed from the internet by Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers is taking our channel down.
He is. He's a bully.
Crazy.
I also don't believe you should count your money at the table. Don't do that.
I do that in when I'm the most nervous when we're playing craps. I do that and it always fucks me.
Yeah,
it puts me right in my head and then I roll a 7.
It makes you fear-based.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's actually another form of tilt, but I'll get to that later.
Okay.
So the next one is be patient, and opportunities that are meant for you will be obvious.
I like that.
Yeah, both in poker and in life. Just be patient.
We try to sometimes. This is very good advice I got when I first started doing improv. It's like you're not always up there to just to hit foul balls. Like you want strikes.
Yeah.
So like wait.
You don't want strikes.
I'm sorry. But you want to.
I think strikes in sports.
You want to strike out. Is what I was taught.
In bowling, you want strikes.
I'm not good at
in bowling, you want strikes.
This is why I'm not good at improv. I just found out. Wow, it's crazy.
Well, you just need to brush up on your sports references. I think you'll be okay.
No. What I mean by that is, if you're pitching, right, and you want to throw strikes, right?
Yes.
And you don't want to. You want your foul balls are fine.
I see. I was on the wrong team in your analogy. I was like, well, if
I'm in the wrong position.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Well, actually, that's one in poker is play your position. Play by your position, not by the cards in your hand.
Define that.
Well, certain positions are way more advantageous than others, and you can play a lot looser in those positions than you would in the opening positions.
Well, when you say position, though, that's...
Your position at the table.
Thank you.
So in relation to the dealer, which isn't the actual dealer, this part gets confusing, but there's a dealer chip that moves around the table clockwise.
Yes.
And everyone rotates being this dealer chip because it's the best seat at the table. You're the last person to do any sort of action, so you get to see how everyone is trying to play their hand before it even comes to you.
You're the last input on the pot.
Yeah, and so you could use this to your advantage because you can kind of sense if anybody has shit or not. So you can either bluff or you can continue to watch. You can do what the world is your oyster at this position.
Very cool.
So But when you're right next to that position on the other side, if you're to the left of that position, you're in a very disadvantageous spot where you're the first person that has to act each time.
So everyone can tell if you're confident about your hand or not.
Well, that.
Or get an idea, perhaps.
Yeah, that's part of it. You have to have a much better hand is all, because if you're going to represent a strong hand from that position, you have to have a much better starting hand. And if you try to, if like, let's say it doesn't hit on the flop and you're going to try to bluff like you still have a pretty good hand, you don't know if the person after you or if the person after them is going to re-raise that. And now you're going to have to fold, but you just put money into the pot. So you're like volunteering extra money into the pot, not really knowing. Whereas the last player to act gets to know whether or not they want to continue the hand.
Right.
Without putting money in the pot.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. And so you can also, knowing that there's different ranges for each position. And so you can play your range from that position versus your actual hand.
Love it.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, anyway, back to the opportunities thing. If it's not a fuck yeah, it's a no on the pre-flop for me by position.
I don't understand.
Well, like if it's a 9-5 offsuit.
Okay.
To me, that is not a fuck yeah.
See, sometimes this is what kind of I wanted to critique your game a little bit.
Yeah.
As somebody who's less experienced.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
So when I see you have like 2 jacks or something like that, sometimes you'll just fold it.
No, that's not true.
Oh, maybe not 2 jacks. Okay,
No.
it's like a jack.
The ones
jack 7. But I'm like, jacks are good. You should fucking play it. Like,
yeah.
what are you
So
doing?
you don't like when I fold a king 4
I hate
or a
it. I hate
Q6.
it. I fucking hate it, actually.
Yeah, but those are trash hands.
I think you're trash, actually. If you're really good, you could play that hand.
You could, if you're really good, you could play that hand. You
See?
could make that argument for sure. And it's very frustrating when I fold a queen 6 and then a queen 6 pops up on the flop.
It's happened multiple times.
Because then it's 2 pairs. Yeah. But the amount of time statistically, if you go and study it, you can use an EV calculator for this. And you can see the number of times if you were to play that hand and you put money in the pot 100 times, you would lose most of the time. Because you have
but not every time.
Because what are you going to do for the player that has a queen king?
I'm going to pray.
So a queen comes on the table and you're going to bet because you have a queen in your hand, but they have a higher kicker than you. It's more than likely they have a higher kicker than you, especially if there was betting going on the preflop. Like if people raised on the preflop, they're saying I have a strong hand. And they're not going to say I have a strong hand if they have a Q6 in their hand. They're just not going to say that.
Okay, guys, real quick. Sometimes Nikki will start shouting at the person, and I'm like, "That's kind of mean. Don't shout at them, please." But she'll be like,
"I don't know where this is going."
What do you got? Oh, you got the jack, huh? You got the jack. You got the jack too. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm not shouting at them. No,
you just laugh, but she just laughed because she knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Did I do it?
She'll be like, "You got the jack, huh? You got the jack too." And then I'm not even kidding, guys. It's spooky. Then they'll turn their cards over, and it's exactly what Nikki said.
I'll say exactly the cards.
You'll say exact, and she does this like multiple times. This isn't like something she did two times. I sat there for 6 hours. She's doing this like six times an hour.
I can tell by their betting size, well, at least what they're trying to represent. So, and then I can kind of tell by their facial expressions and their tells whether the hand they're trying to represent is actually the hand in their hand. And a lot of times, especially on low stakes poker, they don't bluff as often when they're making certain size bets. And so, yeah, I could be like, you have a Q10. You have a pair of 10s. You have
Dude, it's spooky.
And then they'll show me if I'm right. They'll show me. Because I'm not mean about it. I'm like,
no, you're shouting at them. You're screaming.
You have 2 10s. Come on. You could tell. You have 2 10s. It's probably why you don't like my Mafia play either. I do the same thing in Mafia. I'm like,
oh, you'll like, just jump down someone's throat.
You're Mafia.
Exactly. But
you're the made man. You're the made man.
This is how you sold me on poker, is you, because I was already, I didn't not like poker, but I was never that into it. You sold me on it by being like, it's like Mafia, and Mafia is my favorite game ever. So I'm like, that's fucking good sell. And by the way, it is. The more I understand poker, the more it is actually like Mafia.
It's deduction and intuition.
It's judgment. And it's judgment.
Intuition and
And whether you're right or wrong, you could just be like, I think you're Mafia. I don't know. You're being weird. You're sweating. You're fucking touching your face or whatever. And you could be just as right as somebody who's like studied the game.
Yeah.
Like you just don't know.
You don't know.
Because some people are more nervous than others. Some people have actual poker faces. Some people are like Lady Gaga, where I think she's like, I got my poker face. But she looks like she's coming.
That's not how the song goes.
I'm a fan of the song, so please don't do that to me. I'm a big Gaga head.
We will not get.
I'm a monster.
We'll not get a copyright strike on that.
I'll have you know that I'm a monster.
Uh-huh.
So please don't do that to me.
You're a monster.
I'm a monster. I'm a little monster.
Okay.
Okay.
Noted.
Those are her fans, by the way. That's what we call ourselves.
Got it.
We call ourselves the monsters. So don't fuck with me on this one, actually. I don't appreciate that.
All I can think about is I'm friends with the monster that's under my bed. You thought I would go a whole episode without bringing up Eminem? No.
Compared to my poker face, my poker face.
There it is.
See, nobody even
That's
knows
how the song goes.
what you're talking about compared to that song.
Were you spending the whole time trying to remember how the song goes?
Yeah. And I was using all my throwaway lines to think while I was just saying things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay, fine.
I could read your hand. I can read it.
I hate it. Mark, cut all that, please. I'm very embarrassed by that.
That's why knowing your opponents is the thing. Is like you have to know. I have to watch them play a few hands to know what kind of player they are.
Right.
And then I can really accurately guess what they're holding in their hands. And I do it bantery. So like there's a friendly vibe at the table where they'll show me after if I'm right.
Yeah, I always like that. Actually.
Yeah. Especially if they won the pot.
The people who turn their cards over and they like because everybody else folded and they just don't show cards.
You don't show cards. No.
But I like when they show cards.
Well, I'll show them. You show them occasionally, but it's always when I show cards, it's always strategically. It's always to let them know that I'm not bluffing.
You're not fucking around.
Or if I want them to believe I bluff a lot, I'll show them when I won a pot when I did bluff, and then they'll think I'm bluffing all the time and they'll give me money.
Okay, can I ask you this? I had a question about this too.
Yeah.
I saw you one time. You had like a queen or something.
Yeah.
And I assume, and I don't know what happened, but for like the pot had like two queens. Mm-hmm. And then everyone else folded. You showed them the queen, but you didn't show them the other card.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
Because if they had a queen and a higher kicker, they would have beat me, and I just wanted them to know that I had something. But
you didn't want them to build confidence from it.
I didn't want them to know what my range is. Let's say I played that Q6, because maybe from the big blind, if everybody limped in, which means that no one raised pre-flop, and I have a Q6 in my hand as the big blind, I'll just check. So I didn't raise anything. So that's the time where I would play the trash hands that you always want me to play.
Thank you. Please.
So let's say I had a Q6, and I end up winning the pot. Well, I want them to know I had the queen, and that's why I was betting. But I don't want them to know that I play Q6.
Got it.
Because then they'll start being like, oh, she probably has a Q6.
I was so confused by that.
Yeah.
So you weren't confident about your kicker necessarily, but you didn't necessarily want them to know that.
I don't want them to know my range, like the range of what my hands are.
Got it.
Yeah, because a Q.
For all they know, it could have been
a suited. It could have been a suited king. It could have been. It could have been anything.
Yeah.
So
but you wanted to show them the biggest part of your weapon.
Right.
Yeah.
So if a queen was the highest card on the board and I won with top pair, I just wanted them to know that I had top pair.
I love it.
I don't want them to know anything else about
Thank
it.
you. Yeah. See, I study your game. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of your game. Thank you.
Okay.
But not your mouth. I'm not a fan of your mouth. You've been talking shit on me big time. And Mark's going to cut all that, though. He's going to have my back. I know he will. He always does.
Sometimes you tell me you love my mouth, my pretty mouth.
I do love your pretty little mouth.
Okay. That's actually the next one is some ace in the holes are better than others, so don't get too cocky. So a lot of people think that if they just have an ace in their hand, they're going to win the hand.
I'm that person.
You're that person.
I'm 100,000% that person.
And so they get cocky about it when
I'll go all in.
When an ace shows up on the board, and that happened yesterday. So yesterday there was a few people at the table actually that would just any ace they would raise or they would play it. It was wild. It took me a half second to realize that that's what they were doing. And then, so I only play ace 10 and above is what I'll play. Or if it's like in on the wheel is what it's called, ace 5 suited and below, maybe I'll play that if it's suited. But
suited means it's the same suit.
Same suit, yes.
Yeah, cool.
So I played an ace jack. I was the opener, and I open raised an ace jack. And people raised me on it. I don't remember exactly what positions, but there were a lot of people that ended up going into the pot to see the flop. And an ace comes on the flop, and I bet because I was the opener, and I bet a small value bet just in case no one else had an ace. I didn't want them to fold. I want money for this ace because I have an ace jack. It's pretty strong. The two other guys folded, and then this guy over here, he calls, and then the next hand I check because I'm like, I want to see what he does. Does he have an ace, or how confident is he?
Yeah.
He bets a bunch, and so he goes all in. He goes all in.
Wow.
Because I checked, so he thought, oh, maybe she didn't have an ace. She was just continue. It's called c betting, like when you pre-bet on the flop, and so you feel like you have to continue betting.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
You're
so
doubling down.
to like represent a strong hand.
Yeah.
So he goes all in, and I call, and he had an ace-6 offsuit. I had an ace-jack. There was no other. We didn't have no one had 2 pairs. So I won his pot. Yeah, because he just thought he won because he has an ace.
Can I just say, if I have an ace, well, first of all, if you ever have the misfortune of playing poker with me, because I'm coming for you, okay?
Actually, I think they'd be very fortunate if they played with you.
Well, not because I'm coming for you.
Oh, okay.
That's why that's misfortune.
You're coming for them to give them all your money.
I'm coming to wreck you.
Yeah.
I'm coming to get you good. Okay. If you ever see me go all in, it's because I have an ace. I have at least one ace.
One ace, yeah. At least one.
Ace. I'm going all in. If you ever see me at a poker table and I'm going like, man, these fucking cards suck, it's because I haven't gotten any aces.
Oh, okay.
That's literally all I'm there for. I'm just there to get aces.
Wait, what if you get like a queen? You like that?
Well, but
would you still think all cards suck?
2 queens?
Like,
if I get a queen, I'm excited already.
2 queens in one hand, or 2 queens just in general?
If I get 2 queens in one hand, I'm going to go all in for sure.
You should.
I will.
I think 2 queens going all in is not bad. I did that too, and I beat a guy that had jacks.
Thank you.
I would also go all in with jacks depending on the circumstance.
Would you go all in with just one ace? Because I will every single time.
If it was an ace king suited.
Oh, dude, I go in with an ace 2. I go all in on an ace 2.
It really depends on the person playing. Because like against you, maybe.
I don't appreciate that. I don't like the snark. Mark, can we edit out her snark? Thank you.
Against you, if you go all in, I'll make sure I have something that's not aces, just so that if that hits instead of an ace,
I'll be like, how did you do
it? I'll go in my Q6 and hit a Q6 so that it beat your ace that never shows up.
I will ask the dealer why this game is bullshit. I think ace should beat everything. It's fine.
It does sometimes.
It should.
Sometimes. Okay. I wouldn't lie unless someone was trying to take all of my money, and therefore it's okay to bluff in poker and on your taxes.
Facts,
right?
Hey, you better be bluffing out there on your taxes. That is financial advice.
That is. And any CPA will tell you.
They love it.
And they'll tell the IRS that
you're bluffing. This is the daughter of a CPA right here. This is good advice.
See, I learned from the best.
Yeah.
This one is the last, kind of the last one I have on my list.
Yeah.
But it's, I think the most important one in both poker and in life is always be a student.
I agree completely.
Always be learning.
Don't be an expert.
Yeah. Go note all of your hands, things that you lost on, things that you won on, and then work on it off the table. And same thing with life is like, you can't just stop learning. Like a lot of people just stop learning, and it's sad. Like, there's so much knowledge to be learned. Like go learn, be a student. And that's not just with like subjects, but also like when in your interactions with people, you can always learn something from someone, no matter who they are. And
from being humble yourself too, not thinking you know everything.
Yes, exactly.
Like that's the worst trait I think that some people have, and we all fall for it sometimes.
Yeah.
But thinking that you know everything about something instead of just trying to listen.
That's actually one of the tilts, which I'll talk about, is entitlement tilt, just thinking you're the best. And so you constantly play players that are better than you, and you lose your money.
It's rough,
because you just think like you're like, how could you lose? You're the best. You're like so good and you know everything.
But that's one of the funnest things though, I have to say. There's also a fun thing to like, our internet personas. Mm-hmm. It's very fun.
Yeah.
To pretend certain things sometimes just for the memes and for the fun of it.
Be very clear with your delivery that you're joking, yeah.
Well, but sometimes it's not as fun to let everyone know that you're joking.
Oh, right.
Is all.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I go hard on that shit.
Yeah.
And then people really think that I think I'm like a god at like whatever it is. Say it's like writing movie scripts or whatever. And they really do think that I sit there and like jerk off to my own movies or whatever, or like I like that I've even seen any of them in years. Like they actually think that I like.
Yeah,
think I am the fucking man.
That happened to me with JK Party because it's all board games, right? But they brought me on, and I could talk about this in a different episode. Actually, I prepared an Eminem episode that I was thinking about JK Party with. But when I got asked to be a regular on JK Party, I was replacing 3 people that were super, super competitive. And they thought, the producers of JK Party thought that since those 3 were leaving, they needed a strong personality to fill the shoes. And no one that was left on JK Party was like that competitive or strong. So they were like, maybe if we have you be extra competitive, it'll bring out the competitiveness nature.
You were directed.
Yeah, exactly. And it did work. Like with Tiff, she ended up getting more competitive and it was like working. Right. But then I guess, and I understand this, that it wasn't fun to watch someone that was super competitive playing people that weren't that competitive.
Right.
And so, but anyway, like I was given the direction and after each episode to like even hype it up more, just like go and like be even more competitive. And people really thought that I took games like so seriously, that I was like mean and like bullying people or whatever. And I'm like, dude, that couldn't be farther from the truth. But like, I do like playing games seriously, but not like I believe like I'm like so wrapped in the game that like we have to win. Like it's so not funny. Like that at all. It's just to like try to nudge people to like, hey, you think you could win? Like try it, you know, like it's like fake trash talk. It's like silly things. I think it's so silly to play board games seriously or to play like really silly games. Like the sillier the game, I think it's more fun to play it seriously. Yeah,
of course it is. Like Battleship.
But people thought like, dude, oh my God, she like really cares if she wins Uno.
And I saw the commercial for Battleship where two guys are dressed like fucking Marine generals or whatever, like admirals.
Yeah.
I was like, that is the fucking funniest thing I've ever
hilarious.
Seen. Yeah. Like dress up for Battleship.
Yeah, so that we started doing that in Salem. We started dressing up like witches and stuff. It was just funny. Like it's just funny. Like you're playing games for a living. Like that's so funny. But then yeah, people will take it seriously or they'll believe that you really think that it's funny.
It's a blast.
Yeah. So okay, another thing is playing on tilt that comes out in poker, and I was mentioning this earlier, is like it can bring out what you're emotionally triggered by in life can be triggered in the game.
Yes.
And that's just as much something that you should work on in poker as you should work on in life. And there's actually a really good book. I think I mentioned it in a different episode, but there's The Mental Game of Poker by Jared Tendler. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'm showing it to you. But yeah, it's a really good book about controlling tilt. And I think it's also applicable to life. But he basically breaks it down. And I'm not going to get too detailed in this, but he basically breaks down all the different types of tilt. So there's fear, desperation tilt, when you're just like scared of losing money. Maybe you had a bad run.
Yeah, I do that. That's my whole game sometimes when I'm playing craps, dude. I'm like, oh my God, I just got wrecked on that last one. Let's make it up. Let's go.
Yeah. So, well, no, that's an overconfidence one. So I'm talking about people that have lost so many times that they're now scared. Like even when they have a good hand, they can only see them getting beat.
Oh, Jesus.
And so they're so scared to win.
Oh, no.
And so it's really easy to bluff people off the pot when they're like running on tilt fear-based, because they're just like playing like so scared. Someone counting their money at the table continuously is someone that it's kind of a sign that they're playing on fear-based. Then there's revenge tilt, which I feel like is one that you would get tilted by, is when you feel disrespected or you're taking it personally. If someone feels like someone's only c-betting you, like they're only doing it to you. Like every time someone else raises, they don't re-raise, but when you raise, they always like re-raise your bet.
Love it.
And so you start getting just like, this motherfucker. Yeah. I'm gonna get revenge on this person, and they become like your enemy, and they don't even know. Sometimes they don't even know that you've like built them. Like they don't even know that it just so happened to be you that they continue to have a good hand against. I think that's what happened to my guy in Vegas, the guy that was like best friending me in the beginning.
He didn't know that you weren't
because I kept going head to head with him, but it was just so happened I had good hands when he was betting, and so I think he felt bullied because he continuously lost. He won one pot against me, and then he lost all of the rest of them. And so I think that's what happened there.
Okay, let me ask you this. Speaking of that.
Okay.
So one of the reasons why we proselytize craps, why we love craps.
I don't know that word.
Oh, like
what was it?
Like proselytize.
Proselytize.
Yeah, we're out there like it's like a religious sermon. We're like out there like going like craps is the way. It's the light. It's
and we have like rituals that we do while we're rolling the dice. Yeah.
Yeah, but is because you're playing with the table. Now you don't have to. You can do all kinds of other shit, but we like the fact that we're all in it together.
Yeah, you're all in it together.
With poker, you're there to take other people's money.
Yeah.
So how do you sleep at night? How do you feel good about it?
Yeah.
Like morally.
Well, so the term taking people's money is exactly how revenge tilted people feel. Is someone just took my money.
So good.
But when you're playing poker, you're volunteering your money. And it's just going to the better player. And so I feel like I could sleep at night because if I made a profit, it meant that I was the better player that day.
So yesterday, you walk in there, you drop $200 on the table.
Yes.
You walk out with $800.
Uh-huh.
How the fuck do you sleep at night?
Just fine.
Okay.
Just fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, usually I have a skincare routine that I do. I usually have a cat sleeping next to me.
True.
I set my head on the pillow and T-minus 3 seconds later.
So that is how you sleep at night. Thank you.
I'm just gone.
Thank you.
Yeah. And that's exactly how it is. I'm usually a side sleeper too.
Restless?
Side sleeper.
Okay.
Only when a cat's biting my face in the middle of the night.
True,
But other than that, I'm pretty rock hard sleeper.
Okay. Love it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So then there's the entitlement or overconfidence tilt. And that's when you think you're the best player at the table and you're meant to win this pot.
Yeah.
You're the better than all these people. So you have a better hand than them. I actually kind of had this tilt in the very, very beginning. Like when I would have the best pre-flop hand, like if you have pocket aces, like if you're like,
God,
I'm going to win, right?
Twice. Can I buy in more and then go all in with double pot?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't, but yeah, that's the mentality, right? You're like, I'm going to fucking wreck everyone.
Yep.
And then when I would lose that hand, it's so devastating because I'm like, wait, I was supposed to win that hand.
You shouldn't be able to lose that hand.
It feels bad, man. Like it feels like I was supposed to win that one.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to lose that one.
So there's like an entitlement one, or there's also this overconfidence tilt where you're just like, I could play any hand and I could win. Like I just can win every hand, you know? There's an injustice one where that guy that's like, I can win every hand does win every hand. And then you're the one playing him and you're like, this is not fair. Like he shouldn't be winning every hand. So there's an injustice going on.
Very specific stuff, but I feel like you have to play poker to understand all of these different things.
Yeah.
It's like you're describing.
It's like any game.
Yeah.
Picture a person just like fucking lucking into winning every hand and they're being stupid.
Right.
And then you like feel this sense of injustice because you're like, that's not how it should be.
Yeah.
You know? And that's how it is in life too. Like you can just see dumb fucks getting lucky all the time.
Or, dude, it's like playing Monopoly with my fucking sister. I'm always going to land her a stupid hotel.
Yeah. And you're just like, fuck, this is not fair.
It's not fair.
There's hate losing tilt, which is people that just think that they absolutely hate losing so much that the feeling of losing hurts more than the feeling of winning gives them happiness.
Oh, God.
Like, they just hate losing so much that, like, they'll just avoid it at all costs.
Jesus.
That one can send them into tilt. And tilt is basically anything that makes you angry or, like, makes you play with anger instead of like logic, because anger kind of destroys all of your logic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then there's also mistake tilts, which you're making a lot of mistakes and you're just beating yourself up, and so you're just getting more and more mad at yourself. But anyway, he goes over all of them in this book, and he goes over the nature of anger and injects like what kind of exercises you can do with logic to overcome tilt if it's happening to you at the table, which I feel like you could do that in life too. Like you could use some of these logic injections to combat anger in life.
I should. I really should.
This is not advice to my co-host, but if he wants to take it that way, I will not deny anything.
I should do it. Hey, Mark, let's do that, okay?
Okay.
We're going to do that.
Hey, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, and lastly, I just wanted to share from this modern poker theory book, which is mostly math and charts. It's all about game theory, but they have this one breakdown of the attitudes of winning players, and it's a short list that I feel like is also the attitude of successful people in life. So the winning poker player generally has a positive attitude, understands variance, but takes full responsibility for their results. Great, whether they're winning or losing, they're taking responsibility for it.
Wear sunglasses inside. They
have great work ethic, constantly works on improving their game and puts in the volume, has their emotions under control, is always looking for feedback and open to criticism, long-term results oriented, increases EV by playing weaker opposition most of the time, takes care of their health by eating healthy foods, working out, meditating, and drinking lots of water, sleeps well.
What is this
has
list?
pre and
this
post game routines.
Poker? What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, yeah, like it all contributes. Having a healthy state of mind is
eats fruits
really
and vegetables. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, you need vitamins, man.
I watched a bunch of cats eating like triple burgers at the Vegas table.
Well, it's gonna catch up to them.
I see cats getting massages and like eating like cheese quesadillas.
Okay, let me ask you this: were you able to do that at 20? No problem. Metabolism took care of it. Yes.
Yeah,
were you able to do it at 35?
No.
No, and that's what happens in poker because eventually it catches up to you.
Yeah, but these cats like 50 and they're eating like a triple layer burger.
That's not healthy.
Well, fine, but they're still winning at the table. What the fuck
Maybe
is this guy talking about?
You've only seen them play one session.
It's a bunch of fucking bunch of
bullshit.
Yeah,
You're personally offended by it.
A bunch of hubble-bulloo.
Whereas a losing player generally has a negative attitude, blames variance on bad luck, the poker room, or even the dealers for their bad results.
The poker gods, I blame.
Is lazy, never works on their game, and struggles to put in the hours at the tables.
I'm just waiting for aces, baby.
Is often on tilt, doesn't take criticism.
I will get my revenge.
Short-term results oriented. Has a huge ego, therefore plays against better opponents all the time.
I'm good at poker, babe. I'm good. I'm watching my wife.
Doesn't take care of their health, eats junk food, and never works out.
Hey, we're getting sushi tonight, right?
Drugs and alcohol abuse. Sushi is pretty healthy. It's pretty good. Doesn't have good sleeping habits. Has no problem with going out and partying the night before a big event.
Nah, I'm not into that.
You don't have good sleeping habits, though. You fall asleep in your office chair most of the time.
Hey,
wake up at 3 in the morning.
Hey, you fall asleep shit too.
Every once in a while.
Watching Survivor.
On the couch, but
I fall asleep.
Maybe one night a week I do that.
I fall asleep maybe one night a week on the couch as well.
But in your office chair, how many times?
Like 4 nights a week.
Yeah, okay. And then and then you come upstairs at like 4 in the morning.
Thank you very much.
Disrupt everyone else's sleep. Me and like the 4 kitties that are all trying to sleep nicely in bed.
My neck is like all cramped up.
Yeah, it's all cramped up. Oh. And then you can't do things the next day.
Yes, I can.
You can't fuck hard after that.
Fantastic. Only sometimes my neck locks up. That's true. I can't fuck hard.
Yeah, you can't fuck hard.
Fuck hard. You can't.
So don't fall asleep like that, okay?
Even the best fuckers on earth couldn't fuck with their neck all locked up like that. I would really believe that.
Oh, this one though. It tells bad beat stories and complains about how unlucky they are to poker friends. So bad beat stories are where like you feel like you should have won and then some person got lucky and beat you. But doesn't this happen in life? I love talking about certain bad beat stories, but I actually tell more stories of times that I won that was like, oh, I couldn't believe I won that pot than I do bad beat stories. I agree. I have only like 2 bad beat stories.
But they're doozies.
They are doozies.
They're doozies.
And I talk about them on my vlog channel if you want to check it out.
YouTube.com/.
People are like, maybe you should do poker vlogs. But don't you know some people like that in real life that just talk about how unlucky they are all the time?
Oh, fuck do I ever.
Right?
It's so annoying. Hey, guess what? Nobody wants to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the truth. And that's why I don't hang out with you. And this has been shit that they do not tell you about.
Shit that they do not tell you about.
Yep.
So yeah, if you want to see, I'm going to convert my vlog channel into a poker vlog channel now.
And I'm going to convert my YouTube channel into a poker tricks channel.
Wow.
Because I don't want to learn the game of poker, but I do want to do cool poker tricks at the table.
At least they'll be getting a video, huh?
True.
Wow.
Hey, good burn.
Thank you.
I like that one.
Thank you. I try.
Thank you. Need a little cream on that one, Mark. Can we put some cream on that one, Mark? Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this. I hope your poker game improves, and that we one day get to play each other again. Yeah, like it's a new hobby, a newish hobby. I've known how to play poker for a long time. I just didn't know all of the math involved in the pot odds and the equities, and all of that stuff has greatly contributed to my love of the game, and I just love finding out what to work on and working on it.
I played poker with some YouTube buddies a couple years ago, and I didn't even know what the fuck was going on the whole time. And like they would basically just tell me if I won or not, and then I would just take chips. It was excellent.
I played with those same YouTube buddies like a year later and won all their money. Do you remember that?
I do remember that. You wrecked them. That was
on the
before
Super Bowl.
You were obsessed with poker.
And I was drunk.
Yeah.
Now I have a rule where I do not drink.
No, you can't.
Because since poker rewards good judgment, I have been very punished whenever I drink and have impaired judgment.
Yeah, you get tilted.
And I will never
as they say.
forget that. And now I have a strict rule: no drinking before poker games.
No getting tilted,
unless it's a casual, like a home game, obviously. But
a home game,
like a house game.
Look at you, poker fucking legend over here with your fucking terms, man.
I'm just what do you call a game that you play in your house?
I love it, dude.
Shut up.
Nikki's under the gun right now.
I'm very cocky.
She's under the gun.
I'm very, very I'm the best.
And
I'm not at all. Just
she's actually in the hole. I'm sorry.
No. That's not true. Oh, I didn't even talk about bankroll, but yeah, you could manage your bankroll. You should manage your bankroll. Don't be a gambling addict, you know.
Nice.
Yeah. I've been very profitable.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In my life.
Oh, come on, tell him.
Tell him what?
Tell them what's your the cool thing.
Oh, how many BBs per 100?
Yeah, how many BBs per 100?
Well, so far it's at 18 BBs per 100.
18 big blinds per $100.
Per 100 hands.
Per 100 hands, thank you.
Yeah, but I think that's there. I had one losing session logged in there. I feel like that number can go up a little bit.
But real quickly, explain what that means.
Okay, so for every 100 hands you play, you're winning 18 big blinds. So if the big blind at your table is $5, you're winning 18 times $5, which is 50 plus 40, $90
Sick.
per 100 hands. Now that's okay. That's an okay rate. But it's about $25 an hour, a little less than $25 an hour. I would like to get to $50 an hour. That's my point.
You're trying to get longshoreman money, union longshoreman money.
Longshoreman money.
Love it.
Yeah. But it's just, honestly, it really is just a hobby where I love improving the game, and then the monetary part is just like a bonus. It's a really sick bonus because, like, if you think about it, it's all non-taxed money. So let's say like my average right now is like $200 a session. So what if I played like 5 days a week, and then that's like $1,000 a week, and then that's $4,000 a month. That's $48,000 a year.
She's not an addict, folks.
With no taxes.
This is just reasonable.
$48,000 tax free. Like, are you going to say no to that? How are you going to say no to that?
This is just reasonable
try and say
thinking.
no to that. Try and say no.
Why aren't you quitting your jobs out there? Why aren't you playing poker?
Everybody should quit their job right now and play poker.
And guess what? We really mean that.
Thank you. And that's been shit they don't tell you.
We mean that.
And we will see you at the tables.
Please take that statement very seriously and post it all over the place, because we really mean that. Thank you.